What guys, your boy E Money back on the video. We got a special guest, JoedelBeckam over here.
Man, my heart's beating sometimes.
Hey, this is my first time being like in the, this is supposed to be like called Zalud's house right here.
Zalud, yeah.
Zalud, is it Zalud?
Zalud, yeah.
Yeah, it's my first time being over here, so it's kind of crazy because I feel like we're like the only ones or something, bro.
This is
like
the house that Ghost Adventures went to.
That property has been placed on the National Register of Historic Places. Is it just us, or am I just tripping?
Yeah, I said Thursdays. Yeah, it's just $3.
This first room,
Uh-huh.
and I'll tell you about the home and the tour. It's not really, you know, it's not a paranormal tour right now.
Paranormal activity stuff. yeah.
Not right now. Look at the piano.
Piano. Oh, it is so cool, man. I guess some record players right here, old stuff. And this guy right here.
Did you guys watch the Ghost Adventures episode?
Yes.
But I've seen like trailers like
yeah.
about it.
Yeah, so the house does have its own hauntings, and it was just going off again.
Yeah.
We do have paranormal tours that we set aside for the month of October that people can purchase tickets. So I do have October 15th available. So if that's something that you're looking to try to check out, if not here, we're doing 21st and the 22nd at Poor Richards this year for an investigation there as well. So if you're interested in trying out ghost hunting or something, those are 3 opportunities that you have to get out and do that.
Do you think we could get something out of like today?
You never know.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not like I can say, hey, come and perform.
I have
Yeah.
something I want to like. Maybe if I could just like talk to him, maybe if there's like a
we don't
room.
allow that during our regular tours because it is a historical museum and it has its own reason for being here. The paranormal tours are something separate. But you never know. Review what you're recording, and you never know what you might get.
That's
in the
the
background.
actual picture of you guys with Ghost Adventures. Right?
Yeah, that's me with Ghost Adventures there.
This is the actual.
Oh, the Ghost Adventures, guys?
That's there. Season 13, episode 10.
Wow, that's awesome, bro.
2016.
That's awesome.
So the house is all original. When the late Pearl Zalud had passed away, she left the home to the city of Porterville with all its contents to make it a museum.
Yeah.
She had this plan since around the early 30s that she wanted the home to one day be a museum. So her way of updating it was with the paint. As you can see, the floors have been painted, and some of the trimming. She did bring furniture from her sister Annie's home that was in Los Angeles here. There are some pieces here that were theirs. And I'm going to show you who everybody is in the pictures.
Awesome.
But,
amazing.
Pearl also is the creator of all this beautiful needlework that's on the chairs. This was another way of her updating the furniture by having it refurbished with her needlework put onto the chairs.
Yeah.
The paintings that you'll see throughout the home are also by her oldest sister Annie. And Annie was the one who was married to William Brooks. William's the one that the Ghost Adventures show is basically about.
Yeah.
So this is William Brooks here.
Oh. It's pretty cool.
And who I'm talking about Annie and William. So this is the oldest daughter Annie and her husband William Brooks. Who they were married in San Francisco area, actually in the Petaluma area, and he let me step out here, and he worked for National Cash Register, which was those big brass cash registers they had in the old days, where you can still find them in antique stores and stuff. The big cash register.
Oh, yeah.
So he sold cash registers all over the world. He worked out of San Francisco. And him and Annie were victims of the San Francisco earthquake in 1906. So this caused his friend in Oakland to open his doors for him to finish out his time working or whatever it is that he needed to do before he moved to Los Angeles from that point. So during that time, and we do have pictures of the devastation of the earthquake. This is a picture of one of the buildings which is significant to their story. And this place is looks as if it's one of the only places still operating and not really torn down or anything from the earthquake. Might be some damage to the buildings in there, but not from what we can see. But this building is a restaurant that was part of the beginning of the scandal that took place that ended William Brooks's life. So William Brooks, while staying with his friend, is that too much on you?
No, it's
No?
fine.
No, that's fine. It's fine. It's
I
fine.
mean,
So
it's kind of hot outside.
he would tease his friend's wife about knowing stories about her husband that only he knew and how wild he was back in the day, just kind of messing around with her. But she was very adamant to want to know what these stories were. And so she took it upon herself to request a lunch with him. With permission from her husband, they went to lunch at this place. As it is one of the only places that was standing after the earthquake and the fires. But they went there. This place was known as a place where men normally would take a mistress and have a private lunch. When they were going to town, he was asking her, where do you want to go? And she was kind of like, I don't know what's available, So this is one of the places that was available. They went to go to lunch there, and when they arrived, she requested a private room. It wasn't him. He requested a private room. Stating that she wanted to be able to fix her hair because his car had no top. So this kind of gave him the wrong impression. Asking what's going on, she just basically had said, I just want to talk in private and I want to be able to fix my hair.
Yeah.
He was more relieved than anything. So she stated that he stepped back and was like, oh good, because I love my wife, kind of thing.
Yeah.
He was questioning it. What was her motive? So that's the location. That was the place that they had went to. Other people seen them there. It had upscale dining all downstairs where families could meet and have lunch or dinner. But it was also known as a place where men took a mistress or something
to go have
yeah. So over the years, the woman had claimed that rumors were spread about her that wrecked her reputation, and really it was more of the rumors were coming from the women in the company. They didn't accept her the same as they should have, being that she was the CEO's
So she was like being
wife.
kind of like accused.
Yeah.
She was actually, rumors were spread about her that she was a woman of loose morals and that she couldn't be trusted. So the women, they talked about her, and they really didn't accept her the way that they probably could have, in that time. Over the years, she had a mental breakdown. Her and her husband had a separation. She did try to commit suicide at one time, and she shot herself in the stomach, but she survived. The day that she ended up shooting William Brooks, she had actually rode by the house on her horse a couple times at the bought a gun locally at a hardware store, and after purchasing the gun, she went to the hotel where he was sitting in the lobby, and she walked in, kind of scanned the room, saw where he was sitting, and then she walked out, because they say he made a smirk or a comment or something, and she left the room.
Yeah.
So there was a doorman at the hotel who held the door for her, and she quickly walked right back in, stood over him, and shot him 4 times.
4 times.
So I told you.
I thought you said 2 times.
No, I
Is
said
it?
four.
Oh, 4. Okay, 4.
So 3 bullets were lodged into his left side, and 1 went straight through the heart and through the chair. And the chair that we have here, the chair he was in.
Oh, you guys
at
still
the
have the
time.
chair?
Oh, of course.
Oh, man. Whoa, hey.
I'm just me.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so, it wouldn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
That chair is historical.
Yeah, and it was in the basement of this hotel after the incident. It was probably put into the basement for a certain amount of time. A local fire chief for Porterville, who was a good friend of Pearl Zalud, he knew the story of that chair, and he knew the family. So when it was being torn down, they made that hotel later into a drugstore, and then now it's known as Union Bank of California, which is on Main Street.
Bank.
That's what they call it, huh?
Yes.
Yeah. So so when it went to trial, well, basically right after she shot him, she handed the gun to one of the men that he was sitting with, and she said, "A job well done," and waited to be arrested. When it went to court, her husband did come to the trial, and when the story that I told you about the incident is what she had told in the court, and when her husband was there, he basically had said that he would take full responsibility for his wife if she was acquitted of the murder on temporary insanity, and being that there was no more willing, they could get on with their lives. So when the judge came to his final verdict, her husband ended up having a heart attack, and they did acquit her of the murder on temporary insanity on conditions that she went with her husband and he took full responsibility for it. So as far as we know, he lived about another 15 years with her. After that, he had passed away, and not sure what happened to her after that. Yeah. So she could have went into an asylum. Maybe she was unstable still.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Or she lived out the rest of her life, or remarried and was renamed another name. We're not sure. But that's that story. But yes, the chair is here. The fire chief that knew Pearl and knew about the chair, he acquired the chair during the time of that remodel and everything. The saddle that we have that's here in the house belonged to Edward Zalud right here. And Edward, he was a horseman. He was also the brother of the two girls. And he had never been married, but at the age of 45, he had an accident on his ranch where his horse stepped on an abandoned squirrel hole. This caused them to have a fall and going down a hillside where he ended up dying from the trauma.
So, the horse killed him?
Well, the fall.
Oh, the fall.
The horse may have kicked him and stumbled or smashed him along the way, but they did go down a hillside together, and he ended up dying hours later, but he never gained consciousness after the fall. Then the mother and father, you'll see pictures here. This is the father here, and this is the mother. And the mother died here at the home in April of 1912.
She died here?
She died here. Mm-hmm. She died here in the upstairs room, which was known as her sewing room. It could have been also a bedroom used by Pearl at some point in her lives, and she was like an only child.
So Pearl's the daughter of.
Yeah, she's the youngest of the family. Mm-hmm. The house was basically built for her because she was getting ready to start school. And the father, he owned a saloon on Main Street here in town. Mm-hmm. And when they were living in California Hot Springs, where they have a ranch, it was going to be close, about 3-hour ride into town daily on horseback and home. Yeah. So, being that they were a 24-hour saloon, there were many nights where they stayed in town, and the mother wanted to move into town where they'd be close, and father wasn't away all the time. So they ended up building this house. It took them a year to build, and they owned this whole half block. It went down to where the parking lot is down at the end here.
The one over here?
Police department.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, so this was all their property. They had horse and buggy and a little ranch right here on the property.
Yeah, because we seen like a couple houses, like I thought it was part of the museum or something.
Yeah. Oh, the house next door.
Like next door or the one from they're like so old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the house next door, that was their property at one time, but they sold that piece probably whenever they put a driveway in and they had an automobile.
Yeah.
That fired on that time.
Yeah, that like that part of the scene over there, I thought like I was like in Mike and Myers scene or something. It looked like
right
it.
House. Like, right there.
Yeah. So here's some other pictures of the house too. There's a picture of it whenever they pretty much first moved in.
So the house was made like in 18.
This house was built in 1891.
Yeah.
The house that you're talking about across the street was 1893. It actually originally sat on Morton Street.
Oh my God.
And it had been picked up and turned to be on Pocket Street.
Where's this at? Like the house?
Yep, so that's the house. It's always been in this location. It's never been picked up and moved.
here?
It was built right here.
Oh, so, wow. A lot of things have been
That's
changed.
a picture of them in their car there.
Car, okay.
And the house, when it snowed last here, it snowed in January of 1999. So for the holidays and the seasons, I do change out the displays and the looks of the home using their dishes. They have many different sets of dishes and decorations that they've left behind. I will be decorating for Christmas time, and we have Christmas tours as well in December.
Okay. I like
There's
it.
some other photographs here. There's 3. And then that picture right over there is considered a wedding photo of the mother and father.
Oh.
They were both from Bohemia, and they came to the United States with their families. After they met, they decided to get married, and they took off to San Francisco, where they were married in a courthouse. And all the children were born and raised in the United States. Pearl and Edward were born in Tulare, where the oldest daughter, Annie, was born in Chicago.
Yeah.
Oh man, imagine living back in those days just like this. Like,
and the telephone.
and telephone, man. I think life would be easier.
Yeah.
I mean, what we're living right now, dude, we have a lot of money problems.
Yeah.
Wait, so do you live here or is there?
I just work here.
Oh, you work here.
Yeah, so I work for the city of Porterville, and I've been here at the house. Started out in 2008 with the paranormal tours, and then made my way into as a curator here in 2010. As far as paranormal stuff, we do get a lot of voice responses. We get things that move, clocks that tick, lights that will turn on their
Like
own.
randomly?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Like maybe off camera too, of course.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I can
I've
imagine.
had this light fixture alone swing on its own a couple of times.
Oh my god.
And I've had that clock back there start ticking while we were running an investigation here in the house.
Oh, what happened to that crack right there?
And bring my
Is that old?
reader.
I thought you had it.
What did you ask?
Oh no, like what happened to that crack right there? It's
So the walls are plaster, and they end up
So it just-
kind of cracking.
they
and you
crack
have to
older
repair
and
them.
Mm.
So they get repaired this January.
oh okay for sure.
Is that a room?
This clock here came from out of the saloon, and you can see it in the saloon picture here, which is over the bar.
Oh, that's pretty awesome.
Opening date? Question mark.
Yeah. I
Oh.
don't know if that's true, but for some reason the photographer of town was there and taking a picture, so it could be that it was opening day, or it could have just been something that one of the curators from the past wrote on there. In Tulare, they also owned a restaurant and saloon that was on K Street. And this is called Delmonico Restaurant. Don't ask me why it's Delmonico. The only thing I can guess is that
Oh.
there was a famous Delmonico restaurant,
You scared me.
and they probably thought, hey, we're going to open a restaurant, let's call it Delmonico's. You know, that's my only guess. I really don't have an answer to that.
I wonder, has this been here for a while?
It has. It's
I
been
did not
there
pay
since
attention.
1937.
What is this?
It's like an
Yeah.
engine.
It's they beat the house with, and that's
Scared
Oh,
me
wow.
when you made that noise. I was
There
like,
is an
looking.
original gas heater that is in the front room in the parlor,
Mhm.
and it's covered by a rug now, but that one doesn't work.
Yeah, because I almost tripped. I was like, it just came out of nowhere. I didn't see it when I was walking.
Yeah, if it was on and you were barefoot, you might have waffle prints on your feet. So
Oh man. Are these real?
this
Like,
is a guest book.
No, just-
You're welcome to sign it if you like.
Well, let's find Zach's name.
I'm signing my life away, so no, I'm good. The ghost gonna come after me just in case.
Yeah. So
Oh.
this room was used by the mother and father in the early days. It was mainly the father's room after the mother's death in 1912. The newspaper that's on that desk right there does talk about the mother's death and how the neighbors came here to the home to visit them during their final days. So they would pay their last respects during the wake that was held here at the home.
They have a typewriter.
So this newspaper, it does talk about how Porterville was already a dry town, so all the saloons closed overnight one night in 1909. We became a dry town, meaning there was no more alcohol to be sold. So we had 26 saloons on Main Street during that time. All of them closed overnight. This is, not only does it talk about liquor, being banned and stuff, but it also has an article on the second page, and I'll kind of point it out here. And it says, owes life to Miss Astor, and this is a survivor story from the Titanic.
Whoa,
The,
the Titanic.
No way.
The family were world travelers, and they did have a trip planned to go to Europe in 1911. But the mother was ill, so they ended up postponing that trip. Had they taken it, they may have had the opportunity to actually exchange their ticket to come home on the Titanic. We're not sure. But the mother did die the same month and year as the Titanic. And the family ended up taking that trip to Europe the following year.
Oh man.
So this is a picture of them on the first world cruise that was offered to the United States, and that was for a trip around the world.
Damn.
This is
pretty
about a 6-month-long cruise.
I don't know, long cruise.
That's awesome.
So as we come through the hallway, there are photographs on one side of the wall that have been colorized. They are all originally black and white photos, and they were colorized. Most of them are showing their properties. John Zalud had quite a bit of farm property, and these are all paintings that were done by Annie.
Annie, the one that did all the other paintings.
Wait, is that a guy or girl?
I think that's it.
What?
That's Annie when she was
Oh.
probably about 14 or
Oh.
so, yeah. And then this is Edward on his horse right out here in what is the garden area.
Yeah.
So you can see the house here in the background.
Dude, we're in that house right now as we speak.
Yes.
Like, we're in that house.
This old house,
That's
man.
what I tell everybody.
This old
We're
house.
in this
You're-
house.
you went
This
inside
house.
right there.
Yeah,
We're
Right
somewhere in there.
We're somewhere in there, man.
That
Oh
is-
So
man.
this is also Edward in front of a group of flowers that we have outside. This was a climbing rose.
Is it that way?
And it looks more like this now when it's in bloom, but it's on this side, right here. In
Oh
front of the house.
yeah, we seen it earlier, but I thought it was
Oh yeah, it's
Wait,
in
wait,
the
wait.
back. It's in the back.
yeah.
The garden used to have wooden trellises that lined the little brick pathways, and they had climbing roses. So when you walked through on these brick pathways, it was like walking through tunnels of flowers.
Oh, I see.
And this, of course, is Porterville in 1904. This is the
That's crazy.
schoolhouse that Pearl went to school at. She started there at kindergarten. She also started there with Edward, but Edward was 7 years older than her, and they didn't have higher grades. So as she was going to school, they were adding more grades. She was able to graduate Porterville High School out of that school in 1902 as a third graduating class.
Yeah.
So this right here would be Morton, and this is Maine, and this is the Zalud house right here.
Oh man.
Well, after they built those schools,